First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials, including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com.
Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children over the age of 21, welcome to the Hop Nation USA Podcast. I'm your host, Sam, and I'm back on the show for episode 104. And gentlemen, it is good to be back.
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you.
Happy to have you.
And with me, as always, is Steve and Adam.
Hello.
You can tell the person that hasn't been doing this, trudging through this week after week after week after week.
That is very true. I haven't been in the trenches with you guys, but I'm back there tonight. So, I'm very excited to be here.
He's got to bring the energy that we don't have anymore.
All right, Rook,
man.
bring us up.
Well, you know I always bring the energy.
Yes. Yeah, that's something you'll never, ever be accused of not having energy to whatever you show up
Right,
to.
agreed.
Yeah, that's
agreed.
true.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's the personality that I bring, and I'm looking forward to bringing it to episode 104 here on the show tonight. It's great to re-engage with some of the listeners, and great to be back on the show with you guys. So, can't wait to get started.
Then let's get started.
Away we go.
Alrighty, we're going to get right into it then. So I'm super excited that I'm back on the show tonight, and I totally love the beer theme that we're doing. So I'm super stoked that I'm part of this episode. This is an interesting theme, and one that I think is very unique, and we are going to be doing collaborations on the show today. But the unique thing about it is it's not the traditional brewery collaborations. It's brewery with somebody or something else.
It's not B to B.
It's B to whatever else.
It's B to X, I guess.
Well, I think we have one B2B on the show, but we'll save that for a little bit later.
That's B to different B.
Yeah.
It is a different B, yes.
Right now, a lot of marketing people are very angry and confused as well because that's business to business.
Yes.
But they still have to keep listening to figure out what the hell we're talking about.
Yes.
Yes. So the first one that we're going to do on the show today, the first beer we're going to drink is a B2M.
B2M?
Do you guys have any idea what a B2M is?
I've had a B2M this morning.
I had a couple.
So
I'm probably going to have
this
a couple more tomorrow because I had Burger King for dinner.
Gross.
I know. Desperate times.
And we're just going to pour 3 unique beers right on top of that Burger King.
Yeah.
And you are going to be in trouble. But
3 beers of different styles.
yeah, all different styles, all different breweries,
Then
all
add-
different collabs.
Then have your coffee in the morning.
I may as well just call my boss now and tell him I'm taking the morning off.
It's not morning off. It's just call in with diarrhea.
Right, I'll be in the office. I just won't be working.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, diarrhea just called. I'll be in a little late today.
Can you please talk to your boss that way? Hey, motherfucker, diarrhea time.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Diarrhea
Once.
and jelly
Okay.
time.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Just once. Have somebody record it.
Yeah, that is all it takes is once.
Yeah, have Bubba record it and put it up on TikTok, where I can't watch because I don't have TikTok.
And you're over the age of 30.
That's true.
I would ask what TikTok is. I really don't know, but I want to
You're
get
over the
into
age of
this
30.
beer,
It doesn't
so
Yeah, it's
I'm
irrelevant
not really
to you.
interested, to tell you the truth. The only thing I'm interested in right now is cracking into this lovely beer that's sitting in front of me.
What is it?
All right, so first off, on the show today, we are going to be drinking the Pseudo from the wonderful brewery Toppling Goliath out of Decorah, Iowa. So, and I'm super excited about this. So the collaboration here is a B2M, Brewery to Museum, I guess we would call that.
Yes.
And this is brewed in collaboration with the Chicago Field Museum. So I have to say, I mean, I love
Guess
this
Iowa
beer.
doesn't have any museums.
No.
They had to go to Illinois to find
Yeah.
a museum to brew beer with. But I'm super excited about this. I've had the beer before. It's great. And one of the cool things about Toppling Goliath is that they are very rare rare on these parts of the country. You can only get them in 2 states currently east of the Mississippi, and that is Massachusetts and Florida. They don't distribute anywhere else, but hopefully
odd
they.
choice.
Yeah, it is kind of odd, but hopefully they expand their distribution here. But you can get them through Tavor, I know as well. So if you're interested in, signing up for that, then you
We
can
don't
get
talk
Pseudo
about them
Sue.
anymore.
We'll tell you about that between segments.
We'll tell you about that later. But yeah,
Anyhow, I'm going to crack into this beer. So the Pseudo Sue, just to give everybody a heads up on what this is a single hopped pale ale, and this one is all citra hopped, guys. And what this does is it provides a well-balanced beer drinking experience, and it has ferocious hop aromas of citrus and mango, and there's a refreshing taste that is bright with just enough bite. Can I make it more obvious that I'm reading that right off the can?
it's bright with enough bite because there's a Tyrannosaurus
Yes.
on the can.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yes.
Isn't Sue the name of the Tyrannosaurus Rex in the Chicago Field Museum?
Yes, I believe. Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
that's what it
So
is.
Pseudo Sue, this would be the fake Sue.
Fake Sue.
It's the beer version of Sue. But I love a good brewery to museum collaboration, and this is the only
Who
one I know of. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this top and get this bad boy poured, or bad girl poured, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
We don't identify on this show.
I don't know. Well, let's not assume the Tyrannosaurus is gender.
Right.
So, while Sam pours that, I'm thinking now that there needs to be some sort of science center pairing
Yes.
that gets the astronaut ice cream in that bitch.
Yes.
Ooh,
Hell yes.
that would be really, really good.
And honestly, you could probably just contract that out to any science museum and local brewery.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you can just contract it out to yourself because you can buy astronaut ice cream off Amazon. So, I have done it.
Well, guys, I can say that I officially feel that I've been downgraded from, one of the original hosts to a true guest now, because the taster that I'm drinking this beer out of is plastic.
You got a little.
I got a little plastic glass to drink out of.
That's because you took it from me.
Oh, you were going to use this
I
one?
was.
From Pine Hollow Service in McKees Rocks.
You made that decision for yourself.
Yeah.
You downgraded yourself.
Well, maybe
Took
I
the
did.
shitty glass and then you announced that you're now.
You played yourself.
Ah, man.
Thanks, DJ Khaled.
All right, let's get into the beer. We've wasted enough time. We need to get drinking here.
It looks like a Citra Pale Ale. It's very, very hazy.
Yes.
Now, I can tell just by looking at this beer that it is all Citra hop. This doesn't look like any other hop varietals. This is all Citra, baby.
Okay. All right.
Just has that look to it.
It looks like a juice.
It's a very juicy beer.
Ah,
Very
you like
juicy.
it, the juice, huh?
I like it a juice. On the nose, hey, I get all that Citra hop.
Yeah, it's
A
tropical.
lot of Citra. Very
that
tropical.
one, see, that one I can actually identify. I can't identify it from looks. From smell, I'm okay with.
Maybe it's just because I've had this beer a bunch of times.
Right,
before.
right.
Maybe that's why they picked Florida. Florida's somewhat of a tropical place, kind
Tropical?
of. Certain times throughout the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It is very flavorful. I tell you, it's a citra hopped punch in the face, but not too overpowering. Like, you can taste all of the citra hops up front. You taste those nice juices. But at the end of the day, I think this is a somewhat refreshing beer. It's not too hoppy, but then again, it is just an American pale ale. It's not an IPA, so that's what you would expect.
So are they considering this in a hazy pale ale or just a pale ale? Obviously, on the looks of it, it's fairly-
from the looks of it, it looks like a hazy pale
Right.
ale. It doesn't say that on the
Okay,
can,
I wasn't
but-
sure if that was something that they were driving for or just kind of ended up that way just because that's the way trends are going.
Yeah. I don't know. This beer's been around for a bit longer than the trend, than the hazy, the haze craze. So I think it happens.
It just is.
Yeah, it just happens to share that look.
Okay.
I don't think they were shooting for New England IPA, but that's probably why it's very popular, because
It was already there.
it was already there, and it's just like, this is really drinkable. It's really soft.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I think what they did is they actually went to the Field Museum, to do a little bit of research and figure out, which dinosaur they wanted to brew this beer with. And they were talking to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and they were like, "Hey, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Sue, what's your favorite type of hop?" And he was like, "Citra." And so they were like, "You know what? We're just only going to use citra hops in this beer."
Say word. And then they asked, about brewing styles, and it said unfiltered.
And then it took a shit on the floor, and Toppling Goliath left, and then they just went back and brewed this beer.
And then they went back to Iowa and made their beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Story over.
Great day.
What did you say? What the ABV was on this?
The ABV on this bad girl is 6.8%. And
what about
50 IBUs.
you answered my question.
Yep, I was one step ahead of you.
Interesting.
But-
it just seems not like that harsh. Like I said, this is a really soft, drinkable beer.
It doesn't have a whole lot of hop residue. There's a little bit there. It sticks around a skosh,
Yeah.
but it is not annoying.
Yeah.
It's more of a pebble in the shoe rather than a stick in the eye.
Yes.
I've been trying to pass some of these beers around. I actually brought these back from a trip to Florida, and I gave one to my buddy Chris, and he said that it is the best pale ale he's ever had.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I'll say that just because it doesn't look like a pale ale.
Right.
I can't pass
yeah,
it off as
drinks
one.
a little bit more like an IPA.
Yeah.
I'd call it an IPA if I didn't actually read this can first. And
Right.
Toppling Goliath defined what this beer was to me, but
Right. Especially since now that you said it's 50 IBUs, I feel like everything that you said puts it closer to an IPA. If we're going by BJCP official judging, official judging it, especially now that the Brewers Association has created hazy, the hazy category.
Right.
I feel like all of this fits into that more, but I don't know.
maybe at the museum, Sue was like, "Don't put a label on this. Just call it a pale and let them figure it out for themselves."
Could be that too.
That dinosaur has
I
a
think
lot of
that's-
strong opinions.
Yes, that's most likely, I think.
Dinosaur knows how to market, I guess.
Well, the important thing
Been
is
around for a while. You should
the
know.
important thing is, do you like it? Do you don't like it? That's all that really
Yeah.
matters.
Well, yes, definitely like it. Sam obviously likes it.
I love it.
Adam
I
doesn't
think it's
seem to
great.
hate it, so
So that's a win
yeah.
I don't hate
for
it.
Toppling Goliath
I-
and for the show and for me, since I brought this beer.
Yeah, not that Toppling Goliath needs us to suck their dick because this is one of the more popular beers
Right.
out there. So.
Exactly. They've got quite the reputation.
And I certainly have no plans to.
Right. So,
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
On a physical and
Save those DSLs for Sue herself.
we've all declared our at least like for the beer. At least
lack of
indifference?
hate. I'll go indifference.
Okay, ambivalence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fancier.
Okay.
That's a 25%
Yeah.
word.
Okay. So, yeah, we've gotten to that point. So now it's time to move on. It's been a while for you, Sam. So it's now news, notes, and neat.
Mm-hmm.
We've added a neat. I don't know if you were there for that.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
the last time
Okay.
was News,
Okay.
Notes, and Neat. But it has
Okay.
been a while, so...
Yeah.
Well, he's the grizzled vet. He's been through it at least once.
Right. He's got it once. So we're going to move on. We're still the same. We just do the news, and then we do the notes, and then we do the neat.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'll chime in where I can if I have any one of those three.
All right, then. So, I've got a couple, and they're just real quick things. I just want to burn through them. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with them.
That's fair.
But one of the reasons why Sam is now back on the show, and he hasn't been on the show for a bit, is because he took a break over Lent, and he actually gave up booze.
Yes. So was that was all booze, not just beer?
That was all booze. It was
Okay.
beer, wine, and liquor.
Okay.
And to give you guys an update on that, it did not go well.
All right.
giving up beer for 40 days and 40 nights is a lot more challenging than it sounds.
Well, the reason why I brought all this up, though, was because somebody did the exact opposite of what Sam did, and this guy gave up food. He gave up everything except beer.
Oh.
So he's dead
No, he actually lost 44 pounds.
by only drinking beer.
Yes.
But what else did that do to his body? I mean, that's not good for you. can't be.
Actually, well, no. What he was doing
Where's
was he
his
was
nutrients coming from?
from the beer.
Vitamins?
From the beer.
Yeah, dude.
So what he was doing was he was following old Catholic tradition of the monks who would fast during Lent, and all they could drink was beer, and that's how the Doppelbock came to be.
I remember we talked about that
Yeah.
on the podcast eons ago.
That was actually episode 3.
Exactly.
It was our
over
first
100 episodes.
It was our
ago.
fish fry episode where we had the Troganator Doppelbock on. That's how we originally came to talk about it.
Damn.
This guy followed that for the 40 days, and he lost 44 pounds.
I'm curious where he started.
So this is my caveat to all this. He was talking about how cutting out like fast food and stuff from his life is what did it. And it's like, that's kind of obvious.
Right.
Because fast food is trash. So what this guy's diet basically consisted of was drinking beer and eating fast food.
And he just took out the fast food.
And then he took out fast food.
And just drank the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's not.
I guess biologically he's gonna lose some weight.
Yeah, it's not like he went from a vegan diet or a good keto paleo diet or anything like that, and then went to beer.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't running half marathons right before he started this.
Right, he was living his garbage life like I am, and then went to a half garbage life.
Right.
Wasn't that a game when we were in college? Half garbage life,
Yes, it was a really bad.
Half-Life garbage, maybe something.
Right, it was a really bad version of Half-Life.
It's like an add-on expansion pack.
Yeah, entire thing was in a dump. I mean, it's a nice story that's going around on everybody's Facebook.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
it's-
drink beer, lose weight.
Exactly, but really, it's just bullshit. It's just the guy who lives a shitty life and then
Right.
only led half a shitty life
Right.
for 40
But
days.
in reality, all it comes down to is calories in versus calories out.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah, so he did less of that.
Right, exactly. But kudos to him for sticking to it, to losing those 40-some pounds, and I hope he keeps it off.
Well, he said,
Oh no! I believe that you hope he keeps it off, but the fact that do I think he's going to keep it off? That's what that snarky laugh was
He
about.
understood.
he was
I
saying,
wasn't laughing at you. I was
Yeah.
laughing at that. The fact that he thinks he's
point.
going to keep it off.
Fair
That's
point.
what he's eating is fast food and beer.
I mean, he was saying that he recognized that it was, that was part of his shitty life, so
Right.
he's going to try to not do that. But yeah,
Well, let's hope for the best.
Yeah, hope for the best.
I'm on Team Adam. I hope he keeps it off.
moving on, the next real quick thing: Pennsylvania is again number 1 in overall craft beer production.
Number one.
3 years in a row, we produced 3.7 million barrels in 2018.
How many of that came from Yingling?
Exactly. So moving on.
Still counts.
Still counts.
Still counts, that's
Still
right.
counts. We're still number 1 in craft beer
That's right,
production.
keep moving them goalposts.
Yeah, we're better than California, and that's all that matters. Let's see, and the final thing I wanted to mention was Picklesburg is back, July 26th to the 28th,
Okay.
and it's coming off the bridge.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
why I
is
brought
it?
it up. Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Well, it's about time.
well,
the bridge
it's-
was too crowded.
well, it's still on the bridge.
But,
It's coming off the bridge as well.
oh, okay.
Oh, so they're just expanding it.
Yes, it's
Now, which way are they expanding it? Into the city or out towards the North Shore?
Into the city, off the bridge, onto the Fort Duquesne Boulevard,
Oh,
between Stanwix and 7th.
That's good.
Yeah.
That needs to happen.
Yeah, so it'll be on the riverside of that. So you can still go to that. And it was ranked number 1 specialty food fest on that USA Today poll
Ah,
from
yes.
March.
Really?
Yeah, that came in number 1. You can probably expect a whole bunch of pickle beers there.
Pickle ice cream, pickle whatnots.
Yeah, well, I was just saying pickle beers because we're a beer podcast.
No, that makes sense.
Pickle everything else is be there too, but pickle beers, go check them out. I've seen them on social media, so I can only imagine that there's going to be at least 6. Yeah, I'm gonna guess 6. That's my over/under. 6 pickle beers this year at Picklesburg. But yeah, they were number 1 specialty food. Fresh Fest came in number 2 on Beer Fests
Okay.
on that poll, and Cinderlands came in number 8 in new breweries.
Ah.
Yeah,
So, speaking of Cinderlands, I think what's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks might help them out in that, even though they won't be new anymore. They are officially opening up their second location in Pittsburgh Strip District.
in the Spaghetti Warehouse.
Yes, they are having their grand opening on May 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And then they are going to have their grand opening Friday, May 10th.
Neat.
So that, of course, is at the old Spaghetti Warehouse down in the Strip District. They are expanding. They are going from a 3.5 barrel system to 15 barrels.
Cool.
Yeah. So they are, what is that, like quadrupling? Plus.
Quintupling.
Yes.
That's quintupling.
So they're getting bigger.
Yes.
They're getting bigger. It's obvious that they make good beers. So, congratulations to them. We're number 8. We're number 8. It seems to me that one of the things that they are most excited about is not only the expansion of their beers, but they're also able to expand their kitchen a little bit too. They want to be making big stupid sandwiches.
Hell yeah.
So they're going to keep making big stupid sandwiches, and then there might be some talk of some big stupid entrees as well.
So they're going to be like Fatheads, Pittsburgh North.
but with Cinderlands beer
Right.
In the east.
in the east.
Well, it's kind of in the north because it's in the strip district.
Yeah, it's north.
Northeast.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's all there.
I'm excited about this because, number one, I've never eaten Cinderlands food, but everybody I've talked to that's had it says it's amazing. So I'm super excited for them to expand their kitchen and their food offerings. The other thing, though, I think they're going to have like a similar Hitchhiker effect where everybody knows, well, maybe not everybody knows, but I'll say it again. When Hitchhiker was real small and just brewing on, I don't know if there was 3.5 or a 5 barrel system. I don't remember exactly what it was when they were just in Mount Lebanon, but the beer was just mediocre. But then they expanded to the big old Pittsburgh beer factory in Sharpsburg, and their beer is amazing now. It's definitely
Right.
one of my favorite breweries in the entire city. Now, Cinderlands brews very good beer, but I think with this new system, they're really going to take it to the next level, and they're going to be one of the premier breweries in Pittsburgh. I think they have the opportunity to do it, and I look forward to seeing what they come up with.
So you're saying they're starting at good, but they're going to turn into a double plus.
I think they'll at least get to,
Gold star.
I think they'll at least get to great.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion, but I know their beer has a lot of buzz around Pittsburgh. I've probably had a dozen of their beers, and I do think they're quite good. So
And
I'm
they're-
excited to see what they do.
And they are going to be getting into the barrel-aged game.
Hell yeah.
No, they are nice,
Yes,
very
with,
nice.
with the opening.
Everybody
of the
gets into
second
that
space.
game when you get space.
Right.
That is true.
Exactly.
I'm sure they'll be getting the wiggle barrels like as is tradition.
They'll
in
just
Pittsburgh.
walk down the street and go get them.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is they're going to concentrate on the barrel-aged beers at the new place, and at the original location, they're going to jump on a train that I was not expecting, the farmhouse ales.
Whatever.
Wow.
I don't care about farmhouse, yo.
So maybe they'll make one that will make you care about them.
Nah, I won't even try them.
All right, All right then.
That's not a bad idea though, because you don't see a lot of farmhouse ales around Pittsburgh. Pretty much
Not
Spring
really.
Hill Brewery up in Polish Hill
Yeah.
is the only place that does them consistently.
When everybody zigs, you zag.
Yeah, why not? What the heck? I mean, shit, there's so many breweries coming to Pittsburgh. Well, there's so many breweries in Pittsburgh. There's so many more coming to Pittsburgh. I mean, you got to differentiate yourself in some way, shape, or form because, we're going to be upwards of, 60, 65 breweries after the summer's over?
Eventually, to get to a point where at every can release, a brewery's just going to strap a big purple dildo to all the cans just to stand out just a little bit more.
No.
What I'm hearing is you got to sell zigzags.
Zigzag Pale Ale.
I wasn't paying attention, but you're supposed to sell zigzags now.
How did we get to this point, Pittsburgh? Zigzags and big purple dildos.
Yeah, zigzags right down from the wellness center. Quote, wellness center.
Right.
Well, I guess I should chime in with something that's kind of newsworthy, kind of neat all
You're
at the same
prepared?
time, I guess. Yeah, I'm prepared as I'm going to be. So our local grocer, our friends at Giant Eagle, are going to now be delivering beer to your home. So,
So I don't have to use the pizza delivery guy anymore.
yes, you're exactly right.
I give you an extra 20.
Yes.
You go up the market district.
Well, but only the Shady Side Market District for now. So, as of the 18th of this month, Giant Eagle is piloting this program out of their Shady Side Market District in Shady Side. They created an app called beervan.com, and they're currently delivering to 6 zip codes around, I think they're all in the east of Pittsburgh.
Probably.
Somewhere on the east side, yeah. But it's cool. You can go on their website, you add beer to your shopping cart, you pick out what you want, you pay for it, and they deliver it right to your doorstep within a 2-hour window.
Huh.
I'm curious what the delivery fees are on that.
So I'm glad you asked. So the delivery fee is going to be $4.99.
Okay.
But what I haven't heard, and I don't know if there's going to be a limitation on the amount of beer that you can purchase,
That was
because
gonna be
obviously
my
when you
next
go
question.
into the supermarket, you can get 192 ounces, and then you got to take it to your car, come back in, and buy more. I didn't see anything on their website or in the article I read about that, but I'd be curious to know if you can only order a limited amount of beer through them.
I imagine so.
I would assume so, but I took a look at the website, and it's pretty generic. I think they have about 61 different beers on there right now. A variety of 12 packs, 15 packs, 6 packs, and they have some craft beer on there, but it's nothing compared to the selection that you would find in the store itself. It's the more generic stuff from Southern Tier, from Stone, 21st Amendment, Lagunitas, things like that.
How spoiled are we? You said something that really struck me. You said, "Yeah, it's a fairly a lackadaisical selection. It's only 60-some beers that we can choose from." That just struck me as really funny. Of just how spoiled are we?
Yeah.
We're spoiled, we're snobby.
That's right.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
you can pair groceries with this as well, right?
No, you cannot. And I was going to bring that up next.
Oh, okay.
It's not part of their curbside express delivery service.
Oh.
Now, Giant Eagle also has a home delivery service at the market districts, but you cannot currently purchase beer using that system for home delivery. The beer, you have to either go into the store and purchase separately, or now you can use the beervan.com. I think Giant Eagle is just trying to pilot this out, get on the cutting edge. Hopefully when the laws become a little bit more lax, then you could start to add beer onto your regular home delivery grocery orders. And I think that's where it would really start to excel.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm purchasing all these groceries. Throw on a couple 6-packs as well. That would be very convenient.
It sounds similarly to what they did with their Get-Go gas stations for a bit of a time, like the one that is close to my place, where there is the Get-Go gas station, which is right next to the Get-Go convenience store.
Right.
Even though they essentially share a parking lot, they are considered two separate entities.
They have to be, or they wouldn't be able to sell beer.
Exactly. Yeah. So they did a workaround, and it sounds like they're doing that again. They're trying to find a workaround.
Other workarounds, yeah.
Yeah.
And I also, because I think, can't you get delivery from Beerport and Caliente that are both in that area?
I believe Caliente, yes.
Yeah,
I don't know about
you can.
Beerport.
Yeah. I think
I've never used that service before, but
we don't.
you're right.
Yeah, we don't live in that area, so I know Caliente for sure, and I think Beerport. But yeah, so it sounds like Giant Eagle would also want to compete with that.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you one person who is absolutely not going to be trying out this service.
Toppling Goliath?
No.
Oh,
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam is not going to be doing that.
No. Why would I?
Because
I don't live in Shadyside.
Well, you don't live in Shadyside, but you live near Robinson, and if the Robinson Market District starts to do it, you're also not going to be doing it from them because they only accept PayPal.
Oh, yeah, screw that.
That is the only way that you can pay through Beervan is through PayPal. So, sorry, Adam.
I have no problem every once in a while getting a pizza delivered here, but you know what? I'm not so lazy that I can't get off my own can and go grab some beer myself. I'll be bootstrappy when it comes to going and getting beer. I don't care.
You'll go get the beer before you'll get PayPal.
Yeah.
You're not too lazy to get beer, but you're too lazy to sign up for PayPal. Actually, that's probably not true.
Adam
There's probably other reasons.
Adam's actively fighting a life of convenience now. Actively fighting against it.
Hey, sometimes you got to rise up and be the bigger man when everybody else is succumbing to that convenience.
I'm going to trade in my hatchback for an old Model T.
Good for you.
Tear up the driveway so it's all potholes.
Whatever. So, you know what beer that you won't be able to find on Giant Eagle's beer van?
Or anywhere in Pennsylvania.
Or
Ohio, or in New York.
What beer is that, Steve?
The Toppling Goliath Pseudo.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, that won't be part of the 61 beers that you can get from Giant Eagle.
That is true. Today.
That is true, but today we are drinking it, and we've had a chance to drink even more of it while we've been blabbing. So I'll start. I love it. I knew that going in. I brought it. I wouldn't have brought it back from Florida if I didn't love this beer. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this beer as well. But to your point, Steve, it's clean, it's crisp, it's very citrusy, it's an easy drinker, it's crushable, and it's just all around a very good, well-balanced Citra Pale Ale.
Yeah. Styles aside, whether you want to argue that it's just a pale ale or it's a hazy New England IPA, whatever you want to argue about that, I don't care, because it is a super drinkable beer. It's like you were saying, Chris said, it's one of the best, beers that he's had, and I am tending to agree. It's just so easy to drink. It's so easy to put a whole bunch down. It's a little dangerous because you don't recognize the 6.8 in it. So and it's not malty in any way. It doesn't approach that maltiness. It's super fresh for being kind of on the heavy side a little bit. It's not often you find a beer that's, approaching 7% that doesn't have at least a little bit of malt thick to it.
Right.
So
it has to.
Yeah, but this one doesn't, and this one's great, and I wish I could get more of it. Toppling Goliath.
Hint, hint.
Start distribute.
Or just send it straight to Steve.
Or send Steve. Give Steve.
Either or.
Send King Sue too. Sing others.
Yes, if we can get the King Sue, that would be awesome.
Send others.
And unfortunately, I've seen this and I've drank it the first time in Massachusetts, and then I picked some up from Florida. And they had a couple other Toppling Goliath beers, but the King Sue was nowhere to be found. I'm guessing you might only be able to get that in Iowa.
I think that one might be more seasonal as well.
Oh, really?
I think it might be. I could be wrong. I'm fine being wrong because I don't live in Iowa and I don't know Toppling Goliath release schedule.
That's a pretty good exchange.
Yeah. But you can tell me I'm wrong and I won't bother me none. Adam, thoughts?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. No, it's fairly obvious I am not the type of person for this beer. I get it. I'm just not gonna get it.
Okay.
Yeah. If somebody
Adam is
handed
not the target market.
if somebody handed it to me, I would drink it, but it's not something I'm going to seek out.
I was gonna give you the rest of the can, but then you made that comment, and I just took it for myself.
No, that's fine.
You know what? You can finish off one of the other beers.
No, that's fine.
Sorry, bro.
I take nothing from it. It's fine. It's a fine beer. It's just not something I would be looking for. That's it.
Okie
fair.
dokie.
Sorry, America.
Whatever. It's still 2-1.
It's fine.
But this is something you should be trying to find.
Okay.
And so yeah, with that, let's move on to segment 2 after this quick message. Join us May 11th for the 3rd annual North Hills Homebrew Fest at the Pittsburgh Shrine Center Picnic Pavilion.
Home brewers from around the area will be featuring their best beers for you to taste while competing for the grand prize of having their beer brewed and served at Penn Brewery.
The event will feature raffles, auctions, painting with a twist,
Food from Vagabond Tacos and Oakmont Barbecue,
a live homebrewing demo by Kegel Brewing,
and a live podcast by us, Hop Nation USA.
Tickets are $35 for VIP, $25 for general admission, and only $5 for designated drivers.
Proceeds go to benefit the Shriners. Purchase tickets, or if you're a homebrewer, get your entry form at SeriousShriners.org. Just click on the events tab, and we'll see you on the 11th.
Welcome back, Hop Nation. We are here. We're ready to drink beer, and we are ready for our B2B collaboration.
That is correct. We are doing a B2B, and that is brewery to band.
To band. Can I give everybody a clue to see if they can get this?
Yeah, go ahead.
To get what the beer is that we are going to be consuming next?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Face down in the gutter, won't admit defeat.
And
Those
you stop right
claws
there
are
so we don't
warm.
get sued.
He's a big, strong woman with a
Nice.
chicken's brain.
There you go, change the lyrics a little bit.
Take his tape measure away.
There you go.
Nice. Nicely
I'm
done.
sure some of our wonderful listening audience who is into Irish punk rock is going to get that.
Sure.
So, what we're drinking is the Barroom Hero.
Yes.
A collaboration beer between Magic Hat
Uh-huh.
and the Dropkick Murphys.
Yes.
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 It is a pub ale, as they are calling it.
That would make sense.
That does make sense. Clocks in at 4.2% ABV. I think it's like 15 IBUs. It's nothing.
Right.
It's a nothing beer.
In terms of IBUs, that is correct. So this also helps the Cladow Fund. It's the charitable foundation.
Cladow.
Cladow.
I don't think that's how that's pronounced, but
How do you pronounce it?
it's probably Cladow or
Cladow? Clada?
Yeah. I don't know. You're Irish. You fucking do it right.
Clada. Let's call it the Clada Foundation.
Cladow. I don't want to do hear the beer.
In a box of ears.
In a box of ears, try. That's for the Cladow Fund.
Irish cops are the best.
I ain't gonna pour that beer.
All right, I'm pouring the beer.
You might, Rabbit. You might.
You know where the Dropkick Murphys are from, guys?
Boston.
Boston. They're from the Beantown.
Oh, yes. I forgot Sam's wonderful.
I got to get an accent in on the show. I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm not here that often anymore, so
Right.
I have to sneak in those Boston accents. They're wicked good that I do.
Get them while you can.
Get them while you can. I do the wicked good Boston accent.
You might, Rabbit. You might.
Choy.
Everybody's just shaking their head right now.
That is
Both
correct.
around me and everybody listening.
Everybody listening at home.
Why? Why does he continue to do this?
So,
Okay.
it looks like something that you'd pour in a pub.
Yep. That
It also looks like Yingling.
It does look
It
like
does.
Yingling. And
maybe
I-
a skosh darker.
It looks a little bit like Yingling.
Oh, yes.
I caught a quick scent, and it kind of smells like Yingling as well, which for me, that's not bad. I enjoy drinking Yingling.
So it
And
is,
I know Steve does. I don't know about you, Adam.
it is classified as an English mild ale.
Okay.
Is what we're actually looking at here.
Yeah.
So I assume it's going to be fairly malty.
Yeah. From the nose.
Yeah, the nose and the 15 IBUs.
Yeah, and the brown. Being that it's just brown in color.
Right.
It smells light, malty, and cold. Do you know cold was a smell?
No, but I know
Now
it
it
changes colors on mountains.
Yeah, that is true. Go blue to nothing.
Perfectly serviceable.
Yeah, it's there. It's technically beer.
It's serviceable. I find it to be a bit thin.
Yeah.
But I mean, English, ales can do that.
Well, yeah, it's just a thin malty ale. It's I don't know. I'm not impressed.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'm wondering,
Go ahead.
based on our conversation during the break, what was my basis for the 4.0 rating that I gave this beer on Untapped the first time that I had it?
So let me regale you.
You were drunk.
That's a good
that
possibility.
might have been it, because look, this isn't bad, but it tastes very similar to a Yingling. To me, it's light. The taste dissipates very quickly. Now I could drink a whole beer such as this one very easily and probably have a second or a third, but at the same time, there's no wow factor here. It's just malty amber beer.
Let me be your guide.
Okay.
To the trip back in time.
Ooh,
we
I
are
like
going
trips down memory lane.
all the way back to May 22nd, 2018. So
It's almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago. When you gave this beer 4 out of 5 stars, and I quote, "I love that bands are now doing collab beers with craft breweries. Many are gimmicky and taste like crap, but this one is actually quite good." That was what you said.
We should use that review for one of the games. See if we could figure out if that's a craft or crap.
So yeah, right. So I think if I can decipher this for Sam in his state of mind, that was at the Pumpkin Drublick tour, the beer fest.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
The short-lived beer fest.
Right. Already gone.
Because shortly after, NoFX said some dumb shit, and then it's over. That festival was so full of fucking IPAs that I'm guessing that Sam had this after a number of IPAs, and it cleansed his palate, and it gave him something completely different to taste, and that made him happy.
You're saying that Magic Hat zigged when everybody else
Right.
zigged.
Yeah.
Magic Hat showed up with zigzags when...
That's a good assessment, because I do remember it also being very hot at that show,
Yeah.
especially when you're drinking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on
Yeah.
a Sunday
Yeah.
in the baking hot sun. And this probably tasted very refreshing. And I can see that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's refreshing now. It's just,
Yeah,
I don't know. Compared to some of the other beers I've rated 4 stars on Untapped, it doesn't really compare to those.
No, and I just also think, because we also talked about off mic, we were talking about that the Pumpkin Drublick beer that was brewed by Stone was actually shit. So it was bad.
That is worse than this one, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll go with that. It was a really bad IPA. I don't know what the hell why. I don't know why it was, but it isn't anymore, so don't worry about it.
I don't think it's an IPA. I think it's just a lager.
All right, maybe that's step 1 of trying to figure out what went wrong.
We don't even know what the hell we were drinking.
But it wasn't good. So,
Not good.
but this one, it's fine.
See, this one is actually growing on me a little bit.
It's fine. I'll say it's a little sweeter than Yingling, I think.
Yeah. And I think part of it was shifting away from the previous beer. Now that I've been able to readjust a little bit, this one is growing on me a bit. I am the only one that has not had this beer prior.
Okay.
I was coming in cold, so to speak.
Right.
I had no expectations one way or another.
Yeah.
It's certainly not going to take first place in the grand scheme of things.
Well, it might. You don't know.
Say that yet.
No, not for the episode. I'm talking.
Oh, okay. In all of life.
In all of life.
In all of your drinking life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of cream ales that stand in this way.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it's perfectly serviceable.
Right.
And honestly, for a pub ale, a lot of times that's probably all you're looking for.
Yeah. For what it is, it does it right.
Right.
It's just for me, I don't care. It does it right, but I don't care.
Well, let's drink a little bit more of it. Let's get on with the show.
Yes.
Let's circle back to it at the end of the segment and see if our tastes have changed.
So on to segment 2. Craft beer is over and dead.
All right.
Good
Well,
night
we'll
and
be
good
right
luck.
back, Hop Nation.
Good night and good luck.
Or maybe not. I don't know. All right. Craft beer has died.
We'll be
That
back.
sucks.
We'll
Well,
be back
it's-
I
next
didn't
week
know
with
that.
our.
Yeah.
What type of news source are you pulling your information from?
It's going the way of punk. Punk is dead now. Craft beer is dying and dead. Well, it's not dead, but just over the past month or so, there's been a lot of stories coming out about breweries closing and things going not well.
Right. It is no longer the explosion that it
Yeah.
once was.
It's
It's not. It's not.
That's debatable. You got to put that into perspective.
There's still growth. It's just
It's
growing.
sustained growth.
It's growing differently in the
Correct.
fact that we're seeing more and more breweries pop up, but the breweries that are already established that are trying to grow seem to be failing at growing.
Correct.
We've gone through this before with Green Flash. They couldn't sustain how big they were.
Mm-hmm.
They incurred $20 million of debt with the brewery and that they opened on the East Coast. Yeah, on the East Coast. They couldn't pay for it, and then they went under.
Right.
We saw the same thing with Rivertown. They incurred a shitload of debt.
Couldn't pay it off.
And they couldn't grow, and they couldn't pay it off. So they had to be bought by Helltown. And they lost a couple restaurants, so things went bad for them.
Yeah.
Just this week, Weyerbacher, they filed Chapter 11.
Yes. And we're going to get into that a little bit as to how that may or may not have happened.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, why don't you get into it, Adam?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to do it right now.
I was teeing it up on a softball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just kind of just walk into the tee.
Yeah. We're going to talk about when I just hit my dick off.
Fortunately, the catcher ain't really paying attention,
Yeah.
so I can get down to first base.
Yeah.
So yeah, Weyerbacher filed for Chapter 11, but there is more to that story because just prior to that, they were essentially bought out by an investment group. The buyout was for 55% of the shares, or 55% of the company. They have a majority stake now.
Right.
It was an investment group out of Philadelphia. What I read, it was 4 or 5 individuals came together, formed this investment group, and are going to take the majority stake of Weyerbacher, which of course is from Eastern PA, I believe.
Easton.
Well, not
Actual Easton, yeah.
right. Well, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Eastern PA in the town of Easton.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The home of Crayola.
Could be.
I think Crayola crayons.
Yes, I think
are
you're
from
right
Easton.
on that
you
one.
are right
Yeah,
on
you're
that
right
one.
on that one. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
that's a collab I'd like to see.
Crayon beer. I don't think anybody's done that yet.
It's a waxy farmhouse.
What had happened was about 5 or 6 years ago, Weyerbacher saw that they needed to grow their company. They were seeing some growth, but they wanted to go bigger. So what they did was they invested a whole bunch of money in new equipment, brought in equipment from Oregon, and they were trying to grow on one of their beers, and that was their pumpkin beers, which 5 or 6 years ago, that made more sense than what it does now. Not necessarily good sense, but more sense. Because,
Right. Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it made sense back then.
Right. Because pumpkin beers were not what they are now. They were not nearly as prevalent as
No.
what they are now.
I'd say 2017, you better not be banking on pumpkin beers.
Agreed. I can tell you that 4, 5, 6 years ago, when Southern Tier had their pumpkin, whenever that came out every year, it was a rush to get the bombers. I could tell you of multiple times of friends texting me saying, "Hey, I found it here. Hey, I found it there." Going there and it's gone
Yeah.
because pumpkin beers were different.
Yeah, they were different, and there weren't that many on the market.
Correct.
It was pumpkin was the best, and then you had a couple other ones that were just fucking god awful.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But Weyerbacher was there.
Weyerbacher was
They were
yeah.
there with
Right.
their Imperial
Right.
pumpkin.
Right, exactly. And that's what they wanted to bank on.
Well, that's just bad business right there.
I
That's
agree.
ignoring the trends of craft beer.
Well, that's why we're talking about them going Chapter 11 now. So.
Right. And that is essentially what has happened was after the investment group came in because Weyerbacher couldn't pay the note on this expansion. They had some outstanding bills to the point where they couldn't even buy ingredients. Their debtors said, "You know what? No more. Pay off what you have. We're not giving you any more until we're paid off."
Yeah.
Which-
And it also got to the point I was reading that they have the capacity to brew about 33,000 barrels a year. Mm-hmm. And last year they only did 11,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't even buy the raw material.
How could you bank on a seasonal beer, though?
again, if you think about Southern Tier and their popularity, I'm sure they've made a good chunk of change that financed their other beers.
Right.
But Southern Tier also has flagships that everybody, like the 2 times
Right.
IPA, I guarantee is way bigger seller.
That's got to be their most popular beer.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was another thing is that the way that craft beer has been evolving, the styles that are that have gained popularity or have kept popularity are mostly on the hoppy side of things. And when you think hoppy beers, you don't think Weyerbacher. They definitely are on the high ABV stuff.
Yeah, they're high ABV. They're like Belgian styles. They're big stouts. They're things like that.
Barley wines, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like their Blithering Idiot.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's
Oh, yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
We're not saying they make bad beer. That's not what
No,
we're saying.
not at
at
all.
all.
Oh, I know. That's not what I was insinuating.
They know how to make beer. They don't know how to market beer.
Right. Right.
Either that or they're marketing the wrong beer and they're making
Yeah.
the wrong beer, and that's not a knock on the beer itself. It's just that's not where trends are going. That's not
Exactly.
what people want. I don't know if I've ever seen Weyerbacher in a can. The trend
No.
is cans now, not glass bottles. So, it just seems like they were a little bit stubborn and they wanted to, they were stuck in their ways. And
You know what?
I don't know. They wanted to keep doing their own thing, and that's you have to respect that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I mean, it could put you in a little bit of a pickle, especially if you're doing that as part of an expansion.
Right.
Picklesburg, July 26th. No, no. The one thing you know what, Sam? I think they do can some beers.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I just don't think we see them in our market.
Ah.
I almost guarantee, though, I'm pretty sure that they did a collaboration with the band Black Dahlia Murder, and that beer was canned.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the good news is the eventual plan after this Chapter 11 and their reorganization and all that is essentially the investment group is going to get them back up and running. They're going to, streamline them a little bit, get them some business acumen, it seems like, and they're going to cash back out.
Okay, so they're okay.
Essentially, the investment group's going to right the ship, take their money, and run. And
Okay.
then the brewery will go back to being employee-owned, is what I read. Was there the brewery's plan?
Oh, okay, that's the plan. Yeah,
Right.
Okay. I also read that the founder is going to stay on as a consultant.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I mean, they're still keeping the quote unquote brains, which is like the brewer side of things. So yeah.
So it's very interesting what's happening there, and I think another aspect that we haven't really talked about on this show, we've talked about in the past, is the rise of the hyper local breweries affecting the regional breweries, which Weyerbacher is a regional brewery, no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, because they also go in Ohio.
Right.
So similar stories to what we're talking about. Constellation Brands, they have decided to close 2 tap rooms and not open a third for their Ballast Point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And for those of us that recall, Ballast Point was bought by Constellation Brands, which is primarily wines and spirits. But they've bought up some beer here and there, including Ballast Point and Funky Buddha out of Florida. They bought it for $1 billion.
They bought Ballast Point for $1 billion.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Boy.
And ever since they bought it, they've been losing money on it. like Ballast Point has not been returning on investment at all, and that's why they've gotten to the point that they had to close things up. The one thing I wanted to tie back to the story about Weyerbacher, though, is we were talking about how the founder of Weyerbacher is staying on as a consultant. He's been consulting with Weyerbacher for a while. In 2016, in July, pretty much the CEO, the COO of Ballast Point, who was the head brewer, and the R&D brewer all walked out on Ballast Point.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have the same kind of brains behind the operation anymore. You don't have the same pedigree that you once did, and they just cannot recover.
I'm curious if they started a new place.
How do you mean? Oh, if those
If they went and
guys
started a new brewery.
possible.
I mean,
I didn't
at that point, they're millionaires. They
Right.
can do what they want.
do what they want. Yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that because I really enjoy the Sculpin series from Ballast Point. But now that I'm thinking about it, I cannot recall the last time that I saw a new beer come to this market from that brewery.
I think the Sour Wench is the last one I can think of.
That's the only one I can think of as well.
And that was a while ago.
Right, yeah. But I'm telling you, that's the only other one I can think of.
Wasn't there a coconut one?
Maybe, but that's
I think it was a version of the Victory at Sea.
Yeah, there's a lot of versions
Yeah.
of the Victory at Sea. The only other one I can think of is a version of the Sculpin that came out this year in
Spruce Tip.
Yeah, was that new? Or is that something that's just new to our area?
It was new to our area. It
Okay.
had been around for over a year.
Okay,
We just didn't have it out here.
That's the only other one that I could think of.
Yeah.
But yeah, still those are, more or less older recipes. And it doesn't maybe seem like anything's come out since 2016 because everything else is just a version of the Victory at Sea. So,
And those breweries too. I mean, they're also losing shelf space around here as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
In terms
Absolutely.
of, think about a Giant Eagle. You go into a market district or even your local beer shop. I mean, Giant Eagle has a huge local selection now, and new and smaller microbreweries from Ohio and Maryland and New York are coming in, and they're filling up those shelf space. And these big regional and national guys are losing space quickly to some of those other some of those other breweries, because that's what the people want. That's where the trends are going.
yeah. So yeah, the fact that Constellation has decided that they're not going to expand tap rooms also leads me to believe that it wouldn't be unreasonable to stop seeing Ballast Point in our area soon.
Kind of go the way of Green Flash, where they'll restrict distribution.
Well, I mean, better than Green Flash because they're going to do it before they go bankrupt.
Right. Hopefully.
But also Constellation Brands is huge, so they probably won't go bankrupt. But I wanted to tie this into one more story, and that is the Modern Times Brewery. Sam, have you had anything by them?
Nope.
Okay.
I've seen them around a million times, but I've never had one of their beers.
Same. So they're out of San Diego, but I don't even know if they're still in our market, but I know they were in our market for a bit. They may have not did well. I feel like I haven't seen them.
Their marketing was horrendous, and one of the reasons I avoided them is because I thought they were like a malt
White Claw.
beverage or like a White Claw. Like
I thought they were a
sparkling
White Claw.
hard seltzer.
Okay.
I didn't even know that they were in cans, but the cans looked just like the Truly or the White Claw, things like
Gotcha.
that. I didn't even know it was beer for the longest time.
Yeah, they're just like white cans, and then there's like a little line strip with a color on it, and then you kind of just have to actually look at the can to figure out, but it doesn't look like beer.
Yeah, the name sucks, the can art sucks, the marketing is bad. I can't speak to the beer. I've not had it, so I have no idea if it's good or not. I'm just saying
It didn't even entice you to buy it.
There's nothing that draws your attention there. You don't even know it's beer.
Yeah. So what they did though is they recently held a round of public funding.
Like a Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's called the website's called WeFunder.
Oh, okay.
And it's a bit more complicated than a Kickstarter or anything like that. Like they have to provide a lot of numbers
Gotcha.
to actually get funding.
It's not just pipe dream stuff.
Right. This is real. Yeah. Because what they're doing, and we've seen this with Brewdog, but when Brewdog does equity for punks, they have a plan in place. They say, we want to open a hotel. This is how much it's going to cost. Modern Times is basically saying, we have debt. Please help. They said it in a lot of words.
Right.
But they restructured all of their debt at the beginning of April before they launched this WeFunder. And they have like $4.2 million in short-term debt and $18 million in long-term debt. And they're posting numbers of growth in which they went to $30 million in revenue in 2018, which is up 59% from the previous year. But at the same time, they haven't made profit in the past 2 years because they're spending capital on expansion.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's
And the one thing, and we can't warn anybody about this at this point, and I'm not an expert on stocks.
Right.
I'll say that.
Right.
I'm not an expert on stocks or things like this. And we can't warn anybody because they completed the funding they were seeking. They were seeking like $1 million in ownership. So like now, the public has $1 million ownership. They valued their company $264 million. When it reaches that valuation, then you can start getting returns, I believe. Here's how they reached the valuation and how it's very similar to the Ballast Point story.
okay.
They're valuing themselves on a per barrel basis. So they produced about 50,000 barrels last year.
Okay.
And they're valuing the barrels at $3,448 per barrel. Okay.
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 So there's a little more math to this.
Yeah.
Every barrel in the U.S. holds 3,968 ounces. So they're essentially valuing every ounce of beer they sell at 87 cents an ounce.
Wow. And that's not even getting to the tap room.
Right. Well, I think that's including tap room. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
So we're saying that a can of their beer is worth $13.
Well, so
they're valuing each can at like $13.
It's something like that, because
Maybe
if you do a 6-pack of Samoa this, which is about $18, and you do the math on that, Samoa this is about 37 cents an ounce. So they're saying the beer that they produce is 50 cents more than Samoa this, which is high level, Southern tier beer.
You said it was 86 cents an ounce?
Yeah, 87 cents an ounce.
87. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize to Mr. Crosby for that.
Right.
So for a 12-ounce unit of beer...
Oh, man, I went the wrong way. I went up instead of down.
So if you want a 12-ounce bottle...
Yeah.
Of Modern Times, according to them, it's going to cost you $10.44.
Yeah, per bottle.
Suck my balls.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they've overvalued themselves in this way, is what they're predicting. So I guess they're trying to hit this number in 2.5 years, because that's when one of their first short-term debts is due. I think they're trying to hit that in 2.5 years. So they're expecting, and this is exactly what happened to Constellation Brands, because Ballast Point valued themselves in the same way.
I'm very curious where they came up with these numbers. There has to be a reason how they came up with these numbers.
I don't know. And here's the thing about the WeFunder is all of this numbers reporting and everything was done by Modern Times themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't done by a third-party audit. And again, this is the same way we're seeing Ballast Point in trouble. And Constellation Brands had to take on $200 million in impairment charges, meaning that they said, "Oh well, hey, we gave them a goodwill offer, and we accepted their overvaluation.
Right.
But now that's fucking us, so we can't take that money. We can't have this money over our heads anymore.
Right.
I think that's happening to the same thing with Modern Times, and I feel like everybody who's pledged money to them might have just got butt fucked.
Yeah.
They might. I'm not an expert, but they might have just got butt fucked.
I hope they didn't. I hope nobody lost personal money on a company worth, according to them, $250 million.
Right. That's what they valued themselves at $250 million.
and they're asking for public funds for that?
Yeah.
That dog won't hunt.
Sorry. They're also talking about another round of funding that could be even bigger.
Who's donating or who's helping them out? I mean, who decides? Yes, I'd like to give them $50, $100. Is it people that don't understand the valuation and where it came from, and they're just like, "Hey, this
it's
company's
definitely
worth
going to be that. Yeah.
This company's worth $250 million. This sounds great. They're going to make a lot of money. They're doing really well."
Well,
do they not understand?
So to get to the math that I got to, like I found the valuation on a different website.
Okay.
So I found the valuation on a different website, and I still did the math myself. So there's guaranteed people aren't doing that. I think the people that are getting sucked in by this are San Diego locals who are loyal to the beer, and probably people who saw like Brewdog.
Right.
But the thing is, Modern Times isn't promising anything. The only thing they're promising, maybe, there's like a strong maybe on this of whether or not you get your money back. But they're going to try to pay back on that.
Kevin O'Leary would have a field day with this brewery.
If I'm Jim Cramer, I'm saying this is a no buy.
From Shark Tank, Adam, did you ever watch Shark Tank?
No, we don't watch
Kevin
Shark Tank.
O'Leary is always talking about the valuations of different companies, and he's wondering how people got there because some are so outrageous, just like the Modern Times brewery.
Is he Mark Cuban?
And what do you mean? Is he Mark
No.
Cuban?
Then I don't know who he is.
He is not Mark Cuban.
Adam doesn't
Mark Cuban
know-
is also on the show.
Yeah, Adam doesn't know anybody on the show. No, we don't watch the show.
Oh,
Adam
so
only
good, you
knows.
should watch
Adam only knows Mark Cuban. If he's not Mark Cuban, Adam don't know him.
Right.
I guess not.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes.
You don't know Barbara Corcoran?
No.
Not on the biblical level, no.
I only know there's Mark Cuban, there's Lady, there's guy that had FUBU, and then there's bald guy.
Right.
Yeah, there's another guy, Robert Djokovic or whatever.
Good for
his
him
name
too.
is.
I don't know that.
He's Canadian. So is Kevin O'Leary. There's two Canadians on the show.
That's fine.
They were on Dragon's Den, I bet. That was the original name of the show.
Dragon's Den.
That's what it's called. You go into the Dragon's Den and you gotta sell your company.
Oh.
And sell your dumb shit. But now it's Shark Tank because you go into the Shark Tank because we don't believe in mythical creatures in America.
Well, Shark Week is very popular.
It is too.
So what are you guys valuing this Barroom Hero beer at from Magic Hat?
I think I paid $3 for it.
$3?
Too much.
I think it's a $3 beer.
I'd give it a $2.15.
It's a $3 beer.
I'd give it a $2.15, yeah. In a can, maybe on draft, I'd give it 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a $3 beer in my book.
It's a no from me, dog.
I'm out.
Yeah, it's probably a no for me, too. I mean, look, I can drink this beer, and I can drink multiple of these beers. It tastes very similar to Yingling, but at the end of the day, I'd actually just rather have a Yingling. I think it does have some more flavor, and I like the Vienna lager style a little bit better than this pub ale. So, I don't know. Just give me a case of Yingling if I'm going to be drinking
All right,
a beer that tastes like this. I do love the Dropkick Murphys, though, and I love that song Barroom Hero, so I don't know.
I mean, considering where we live, you can get Yingling cheaper.
Yeah.
If you're in Seattle and then they have Yingling out there now, and if you get the choice between this and Magic Hat, it might be the same. You know.
Wait, this is Magic Hat.
I mean, if you get the choice, between Yingling and the Magic Hat Barroom Hero, it might cost the same.
Right.
At that point, just flip a coin. It's very similar.
Do a blind taste test. Buy them both.
Yeah.
See if you can tell the difference.
Which is funny because this is a pub ale and the other is a lager. So I don't know.
Whatevs. What do you think about this beer, Adam?
It's a $3 beer. It's a $3 beer. It's perfectly fine. If somebody had them,
$3 beer, y'all. It's a good Limp Bizkit album.
yeah.
Limp Bizkit needs to do a collaboration with a brewery.
They don't.
Hell yeah, Limp Bizkit malt, $3 beer, y'all.
No, they don't.
Biscuit malt
liquor.
Biscuit malt. Come on.
Come on, it writes itself. Come on.
No. Although I will give you credit if you're willing to let the tab be red.
Okay.
So it's the
Fred Durst
red
it's like
hat.
the Fred Durst cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it going to have the New York Yankees logo on it, too?
No, that costs too much.
Get sued.
So that's the only way I'll allow it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a fine beer.
It's all right.
I got no beef with it.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
Okay. Bye.
Do you enjoy entertainment? Have you wasted money or time not knowing what to expect?
Well, look no further.
The Chewed Gum Podcast is your answer.
It's a blasty blast.
We are the Gruesome Twosome, and Seamus and Luke. We find the latest entertainment and give you our views and hopefully save you time and money. So come listen to the Gruesome Twosome and chew up recent entertainment. Who's listening to you, dummies?
Welcome back, Hop Nation. We've got one more collaboration for you. And to everyone's enjoyment, I will not be singing at all for this collaboration. I'm not going to potentially get us sued. I'm just going to turn it over to Steve and let him introduce the last B2B collaboration that we're going to be doing.
I don't even know if there is a song for this. They would have had to have produced a commercial for you to sing a song.
I would think so, and I don't know of any.
It doesn't have to be a song related to this beer, to this bakery. It can just be a song in general that I could sing if you really want me to.
No, that's fine. You're good.
I could sing the Mario Brothers theme song.
Nope, that's all right.
We ain't got that kind of money.
We're not even doing video games this week. 1 week we'll do video games. If we do Shoe Brew episode, I'll let you sing a Mario for like 3 seconds.
we got to find some denim and down the warp pipe first.
See, I'll let you sing denim.
Oh, I just got that.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Okay.
Denim.
But okay.
But it's got his overalls on the can. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Like denim.
Oh,
denim
also
overalls.
in another case of Steve was right, we talked in a previous episode about Shoe Brew doing the Pink Boot Society collaboration.
Yeah.
And the can did wind up having Samus Aran on it.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah. Steve was right again.
Cool.
But today we have a completely different beer. We're doing a B2B, and this is a brewery to bakery. And this is Platform Beer Company pairing with Prantl's Bakery. Prantls. And this is their Almond Torte Blonde Ale. The Torte is a beer that is brewed with 2-row Vienna malt, flaked wheat carapils. It's single hopped with crystal. The yeast is American ale. The adjuncts are Prantl's almonds, vanilla, and lactose. It's 6.9 ABV. IBUs of 8.
Nice.
8. Oh, you're going to like this one. All right. So for
Adam's
those that
all
don't
in.
know, where's Prantl's at?
Prantl's is in Pittsburgh, and they're a bakery, and they're very famous for their almond torte.
Yes.
It's a dessert on the level of infamy of like a permane sandwich or pierogies in the area.
Anything from the Oakmont Bakery.
Yeah, just anything that's up there that you would think about Pittsburgh.
Have you guys had it?
No.
No.
I haven't either.
But we're going to have it on the show.
No, not the beer. I'm talking
Right.
about the almond torte.
No, but if this beer's good, I might.
Yeah. Now, as we know, Platform is coming to Garfield,
PA.
PA, which is, a part of Pittsburgh.
And Prantl's is opening a second location in Odie.
Okay. You could also said lasagna.
Man, you guys don't even laugh at my jokes. They're so good. They're so funny.
I hate Mondays.
Brandon's new location coming to Arbuckle, PA.
There it is.
You guys could put some of these on a T-shirt. These are funny lines.
And then you can find those t-shirts at tpublic.com.
Exactly.
Search Hop Nation USA.
Yes. tpublic/user/OpNationUSA.
Now, can you license the Garfield characters for the shirts? Because you should.
Oh, sure. If I want to pay Jim Davis a fuckload of money, which I don't.
Oh, come on. He seems like a good enough guy.
This show does not make Garfield money.
Yeah. This show does not make Garfield licensing money.
This doesn't make Wizard of Id money.
Right.
And you get Bill Murray to come on the show and do the Garfield voice.
Tell you what, Sam, you can spearhead that effort.
I'll try.
Let us know how that goes.
I'll start a social media campaign. I'll do a GoFundMe to get Bill Murray on this podcast
Right on.
to reminisce about his time as Garfield.
Right on.
Okay.
Well, you can't get Lorenzo music, so we'll settle for Bill Murray.
Anyways, back to the beer.
Looking at this beer, it looks kind of like a blonde ale, but a little bit darker.
It does, yes.
It looks almost like a burnt blonde ale.
Ah, that makes sense.
Aha, because it's a burnt almond torte.
It does have a hint of orange to it.
A skittle diddle doodly doo.
I'm a scat man.
Effervescent.
Beep bop bop bada boop.
I don't know. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks effervescent, and this is obviously Platform's way of ingratiating themselves to the Pittsburgh community.
Ooh, that's a 50-cent word.
Yes, as they move into the city.
Yes.
Now, do we have any idea when that location might be opening? I heard summer, but is it early summer, late summer, August, September? What are we talking here? Anybody know?
I'm gonna say, just for the shits and giggles of it, is September.
That makes sense because, like, any new place, especially breweries, they'll put a date out there. It never gets hit.
No,
Yeah.
completely
It
missing.
never gets hit.
Always gets delayed.
Heard Southern Tears open.
Man, that is a delightful nose.
It does smell pretty
That
damn
is
good.
so good. That
It smells like
just-
dessert.
Just like
Yeah.
a dessert almond torte. Oh
Yeah,
my
it smells
God.
like dessert.
They have got that nose perfectly.
It smells like cake.
Perfect.
Yeah. How do you make a beer smell like cake?
And
Ask
more cake.
Platform. Ask Platform.
Ooh, girl. Yeah, I like this.
Wow, that is an incredibly light dessert beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so flavorful, but so light at the same time.
I really
Which is
like
fantastic
this.
because normally when you see dessert beers, they're heavy porters or stouts. And,
Right.
You know, maybe after a 10-ouncer, you're about done with that beer.
Probably.
But this you can drink a couple of these.
Really? I still feel like I can only drink one.
Oh, really?
It's
Is it too sweet for you? I mean, I've only had one sip so far,
Yeah.
but I love it enough to say that I could probably drink a couple cans of this.
Okay, so, okay, full disclosure, I've already had a can, and I couldn't drink more after the one can I had, so. But, it's good, and it definitely captures the flavors that it's shooting for. It also tastes like, and Adam will know this for sure, but doesn't it remind you of the Red Ribbon almond soda?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And I am a big fan of the Red Ribbon out in the Natrona Heights.
Yeah, me too.
Local plug.
Yeah. Plug, plug, plug.
Never had it.
I mean, try it out if you ever see it.
I'm not a pop guy.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
I don't really like it that much.
Okay.
yeah.
But I
if-
like this beer.
If
Oh
you're
my
if
God,
you're
I
looking
like
for
this beer.
something that tastes like this but not alcoholic,
Right. If you're trying
Red
to get
Ribbon
through
almond soda.
next year.
Well, next year is next year. We'll see what 2020 brings.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is great. I really like this, and it's so funny that it's 6.9%. It tastes like it's 0%.
Yeah.
you cannot taste the alcohol in here at
better than
all.
a
This
good-
flavor has completely masked it.
Now, We brought this beer on the show because there's been a lot of uproar on the social medias.
There has been.
A lot of people say this beer's bad, and those people are wrong. They're just being assholes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
a lot of
haven't
people
read-
hate this beer.
Well, as part of my quest to give up beer for Lent, I deleted Facebook and Instagram and everything off my phone, so I haven't been as in tune as I normally am. So I didn't know what people were saying about this, but they're saying it's bad.
A lot of
Really?
people, saw a lot of hate for this.
Really, what were the reviews? What didn't people like about it?
A lot of people said it was too sweet. A lot of people just said it tasted bad. It wasn't like really that in depth into it, and I think they're just being contrarian.
Wouldn't
to be
surprise
contrarian.
me.
Yeah, they're just being contrarian to go against hype. Because
I
really,
guess.
there's nothing wrong with this beer. It's a dessert beer, and like I said, I don't think I can drink more than one can. But if you want to supplement dessert with just a beer, this is what you do. Have a can. Yeah,
It's a good beer. It, like you said, it serves the purpose that it was intended.
and it hits all the notes that it wants.
It does. It tastes just like an almond tort.
Yeah, smells like cake, tastes like almonds. It's great.
What more do you
Yeah,
want?
exactly. If you don't like this beer, I mean, clearly you've selected the wrong thing. Like, what the hell were you expecting?
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's the other thing is I think a lot of people, they still don't understand that beers have utility nowadays, and dessert beers are for dessert. They're not for crushing.
Right. You don't go into, PNC Park at tailgate 3 hours beforehand and try to drink 6 of these.
Right. You don't drink 6 of these. You don't drink 6 Samoa thises and then go sit in the hot sun.
Oh God. That sounds awful.
I'm getting nauseous just thinking about that.
Even a gross piggy like me only has one creme brulee with his birthday dinner.
Right. There are limits.
Yeah. But I do piggy time.
No, this is legitimately a very good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Full stop.
really like this.
Yeah, especially because they hit all the notes that they're trying to go for.
So I'll throw this out there. Anybody that is listening that has had this beer and you don't like it, let us know. I'm very curious why you didn't like this beer. Get us on the Twitter or the email.
And you can't say it's because you don't like almond torts. That doesn't count. Obviously, if you don't like almond torts, you're not going to like this beer. We don't want to hear any of that.
If I could appreciate IPAs for what they are, you could appreciate this for what it is.
I don't like menthol 100s. Why not? I don't like the taste of cigarettes. I don't like
Same
the taste
logic.
of cigarettes. Yeah. Well, duh. So let us know. I think a lot of people were just being contrarian. Perhaps some people were engaging in a form of homerism where they didn't want to give an Ohio brewery.
Possibly. It's Cleveland.
Yeah, they didn't want to give an Ohio brewery props for doing something that's Pittsburgh based, even though they're coming into
Yeah,
our
they're going to
area.
have a Pittsburgh brew pub here. We
Yeah,
should welcome them with open arms.
Especially because their beer doesn't suck.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Right.
Hell, it's better than some of the breweries we have here in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to name any, but I mean, it certainly is.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's true, and it just happens.
I'm going to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. So, while a whole bunch of people will scream and yell at their radios, let's calm them down a bit. Let's talk.
Who's listening to this on the radio?
Some people can. You can in your cars.
Yeah.
Can you?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, if you got
Well,
Spotify.
yeah, I guess
Spotify.
Yeah, if you got
I guess
Spotify.
it's
A lot of cars come with Spotify nowadays.
I seen it.
It's not on the FM radio or AM radio.
No,
But it's coming
not
through
yet.
the
Yeah.
stereo system
Yeah.
in their car.
I don't know. If you have one of those short range transmitters,
Yeah,
you
maybe.
can hook
that
that
too.
up to your phone.
Do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are on the FM, folks.
That's how I used to roll. I had an iPod hooked up to an FM short range.
It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can listen to us on 105 the X right after Mark Madden at 6 o'clock every day.
Subway. Hitting and blinds. Will Matthews Wallaker service.
Hell,
Fire the coach for the buttons.
Anyways.
I'm working on my Madden impression. I'll get there.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, moving on to segment 3. Sam's back, and because Sam's back and we're on the precipice of Avengers Endgame, I thought it would be fun to talk about summer movie time.
Hooray.
Ooh. First, though, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Avengers Endgame. Anybody have plans to see that?
Nope.
no.
Okay, I didn't think I figured both of you guys are so far behind on these Marvel movies.
Yeah, I heard that Doctor Strange one is coming out soon.
Yeah.
That was actually I didn't
gonna
see
be on
Doctor
FX.
Strange.
On FX, that's right.
Doctor Strange and On, I haven't seen any of the movies. I
Okay.
got behind. I loved watching them at first, but then it got to be that there was so many of them, and I started to forget what happened in the earlier ones, and I was getting lost, and then I just ran out of time, and I haven't watched any.
Okay.
But man, I saw the trailer for Endgame. It looks friggin' badass.
I've ignored the trailer. I've ignored pretty much every bit of marketing I can. So I'll get to go in.
You're gonna go in cold.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in cold, and I think I might just go catch a 9 a.m. Friday
That's
showing.
Well, that would be nice because there's not going to be many people there.
Exactly. Yeah.
All the kids are in school.
Freelancer life. You get to knock off work. You can just knock off work at the beginning of the day
Right.
and then do the work at the end.
That is true.
Yeah. So that's my plan. I'm probably going to catch a 9 or 10 a.m. showing. It's 3 hours long, so I'll get out just in time for lunch and
Go grab yourself a pizza or a taco. And
then go home and work for the
There
rest
you
of the
go.
day.
I would
I like
recommend if you're going to see it in Robinson, go over to the Market District Bar, sit down,
Yeah.
grab a beer. They'll be serving at noon.
Yeah, that's my time. That's kind of my thought there.
Works for me.
Beer is
yeah.
great. Always have a great local selection,
They do,
and it's very cheap.
They also
It's only $4 or $5 a beer.
occasionally have some weird stuff on. Because the last time I was there, I had a Maine Brewing Company beer that was pretty good, just like their standard porter. But
All right. So Avengers Endgame. Let's get
yeah.
back to the movies.
if you're looking for a beer, though, this is what I really wanted to get into. I wanted to get into thinking about the beers that you would drink at these summer movies.
Ah, okay.
And so if you're thinking of a beer that you should pair with Avengers Endgame, there's a brewery in Humboldt, Texas called the Ingenious Brewing Company. And they're a nerd shit can be
Okay.
brewing. Like everything they do either is a milkshake IPA or a crazy stout, or it is themed to some sort of pop culture Marvel or Game of Thrones reference.
Okay.
What they've brewed, though, is they have a beer called the Infinity Hopped.
Ah, okay.
And it is a triple IPA brewed with 6 different kinds of hops.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I bet I would like that.
I bet you would. It's 77 IBUs, and it is. They have a couple versions of it. The 2019 version is Citra, Galaxy, Mosaic, Ella, Vic Secret, and Azaka. And there's 6 pounds of hops that go into it.
Thank God they use Galaxy hops, because if they didn't,
Right? Come on, come on. They also have so good. Yeah, they have a bunch of other beers that are themed towards the Avengers movies. One that we were talking, you mentioned Doctor Strange. They have a beer called the Eye of Agamotto,
okay,
which that encompasses the time gem.
okay.
Yeah, I'm spoiling things for you. I'm sorry, but
Trust me, I've had plenty of time to see it. It's on me at this point.
The time gem is green, as some people know, not you, but
Okay.
but the beer itself is green because it's a Berliner Weiss on kiwi, key limes, vanilla, and jalapeno.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. They just have a bunch of beers like this. So like when they're brewing them, they're doing them like in theme with what they should be. Mm-hmm. So like the other gem, the blue one, they have a blue beer.
I love the creativity there. They're trying to brew the beers in a style that's true to the movies.
Right. They're trying to
pretty cool.
connect it.
Yeah, they're trying to connect it.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking last week about Omagong and the way they brew Game of Thrones beers. It seems like they don't have an actual contract with Marvel the way Omagong does with HBO, but this Ingenious Brewing is doing their best with putting out beers that connect.
They're just super fans, and they're riding that line a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, what's the rule of thumb? You have to have 7 even subtle differences between your marketing and the actual licensed characters or whatever.
Something like, I don't know.
It's around 7.
Yeah.
Shane told me about it, and
good.
that way you can still technically rip off some of the characters and the names of things in your beer. That's how
I get
Shooper
you.
does it.
I was
I
gonna
get
say
you.
you're the one with the business degree.
Yeah, but I'm not in digital marketing. That's what my wife is doing.
Yeah, the wife does digital marketing.
She tells me these things.
Well, you're the one that's married to somebody that knows what's going on.
Right,
So
Well, that's good to know
7.
for us. 7 differences, so now I know how to steal things for T-shirts.
You might want to verify that number first. I'm pretty sure it's 7, but
Could be 3.
Just do a little bit of research.
It could be 3.
And maybe it's different when you're looking at apparel versus beer.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. Who cares? But yeah, so if you happen to be in Humble, Texas, pick up some Infinity Hop for the movie. You can also get some Time, Space, Soul. They brewed a whole bunch of other beers. Mm-hmm. It's all there. It's all there. Get it all.
And yeah, you know what? Pick up 2 sets.
Yeah,
And
send us some.
Yeah, send us the second set.
Yeah, send us the whole set. Collect them all.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout out on the Instagrams. And speaking of Pokemans,
the
Pokemon Detective is coming out.
Yeah. You excited for Detective Pikachu, Sam?
I don't know.
See,
I have no idea. Because I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, this looks great. I think Ryan Reynolds is going to be so funny as the voice of Pikachu. The trailer looks good, and it has all the Pokemons in it. But then at the same time, I'm like, I watch it, and I'm like, this is so stupid. Like,
Right.
Then you watch it, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm 34.
where are they? First off, I don't even know where they are. Where's this take place? New York City or something?
It's probably like a Pokemon city.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon city. Maybe it's in Japan. Maybe it's in America. I really don't know.
Neo
And then-
Tokyo,
Yeah, then you
2020.
see like
San
Charmander
Fran,
coming
Tokyo.
in, and some of those other freaking Pokemons. I don't know. They're just like all over the place, and it just looks like absolute freaking chaos.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I kind of want to watch it.
I feel that it's just over the edge of me wanting to watch it, that I would go watch it if somebody said, hey, I'm going to watch this Pokemans movie. You want to go?
If Bubba, you're listening right now, Adam just put the call out. You can take him to the Cranberry Theater to go watch Detective Pikachu with you.
Yeah, I'll go with Bubba.
I feel like for our generation, we were a little bit not too old, but like we were a little bit older when the Pokemon trend came out.
Agreed.
And so we didn't get as involved in it as others did.
Mm-hmm. We were on the cusp.
We were on
I think
the cusp.
I think we're kind of like split 50-50 if you look at our entire generation. Like, I think a lot of people our age are really into it, which is why it's coming out now. Because people our age have kids and
money.
and money.
That's true.
The same reason why we're also getting an Aladdin live action remake, a Lion King live.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in that crap. I don't support it.
I don't support it either. I don't care for it at all. Why do I need a new thing of the same thing?
And I could just go watch the original.
I support it
thing.
100%. I want to see both of those movies. Yeah, it looks great. I was a little bit unsure when I saw the first Aladdin trailer, but then I saw the new one, and it does look pretty cool. And the Lion King, I'm all about that. I love that story.
So for me, it was because I have watched the live action Jungle Book movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that one.
I was not impressed. Have you seen any of the live action Disney movies?
I saw Alice in Wonderland.
That doesn't count.
That
That's
doesn't
Tim
count.
Burton nonsense. And Alice in Wonderland that's not really Disney, is it?
Not technically.
I mean, Disney did do a version.
Right.
But I don't think that one was produced by Disney.
Right.
I think that it was.
Okay.
Oh, was it?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember because I didn't see it either.
But
It
I
just
don't
looked
know if
crazy.
I don't know if the sequel was, because there were 2 live action Alice in Wonderland films. I think the first one was Tim Burton, and that was produced by Disney. But then they made a sequel that he didn't do.
Right. Okay. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Regardless, I watched the live action Jungle Book and I was not impressed.
Okay.
It didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that the same thing is going to happen with The Lion King and Aladdin.
Was that movie lacking the bare necessities? Fuck yeah, gotcha.
Although it did have Bill Murray.
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. It did.
So he
Also had Scarlett Johansson.
was Baloo.
Yeah. God. What other live action Disney movies did they do? I'm trying to think if I saw
Beauty
any
and the
of them.
Beast with Emma Watson.
I didn't see Beauty and the Beast. I didn't see Dumbo. I didn't see The Jungle Book. Mm-hmm. So maybe I haven't seen any of them, but I do want to see The Lion King because I think that looks pretty good. I just don't like that people are calling it a live action version.
Right,
of
it's
the Lion
CGI.
King.
It's all
right, but like
That's a
there's
very
no
good
people.
point.
There is not one human in the entire film.
Yeah, I think of those, I might be most likely to see The Lion King, but
It's such a good story.
I'm boycotting.
John Favreau is doing it. Favreau, however you pronounce his
Favreau?
last name. Favreau.
Rob Reiner?
Rob Reiner. I'm boycotting the Aladdin movie though,
What's that?
because Gilbert Godfrey is not the voice of Iago.
Yeah, that's a hard stop for me too.
How could they not bring him back to be the parrot?
That is true. He was a great parrot. And I don't like Will Smith as the genie, but I do like Naomi Scott as Jasmine. I'll see.
Okay.
Let me watch that
You
one.
see it.
I'll take that
see
one
it.
back.
Okay.
This is homework. I think it comes out in May.
Okay.
I'll come back on the show at some point and give you a review
Okay.
of Aladdin.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
All right. I'll come back with a review of Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Okay.
That's my shit. That's in my wheelhouse.
All right.
I didn't grow up on much Disney. I grew up on TNT, which had Godzilla movies all the damn time.
There's a new one coming out.
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
It's got Rodan in it. It's got Mothra. It's got King Ghidorah in it. It might have some other kaiju in it. It's going to be a wild time.
What about Mechagodzilla?
No.
Oh, all right.
How about Bryan Cranston? Is he in it?
No.
He died in the last one. Spoilers.
No
I
Bryan
did see the last
Cranston.
one. Did he die?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did die.
He
The
died in the first 10, 15
Yeah,
minutes.
the radioactive
That's right.
steam got
Yeah,
him.
that's
Yeah.
right.
No Bryan Cranston. No guy whose name I can't remember who played Kick-Ass. No Elizabeth Olsen. None of that. It's the fucking girl from Stranger Things and Ken Watanabe.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he was in the first one.
Which
so.
chick from Stranger Things? Winona Ryder?
The girl. No, not Winona Ryder. The girl. The girl.
Oh, 11.
Yeah, 11.
Whatever her name is.
Trish? I
Joe
don't
Bobby
know.
Brown or something.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Something like that, yeah.
All right.
That's what it is.
I know it's Bobby Brown
did.
in there because I know Bobby Brown.
Aaron Johnson. That's
Okay.
the guy who played Kick-Ass
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Good deal.
He also played a version of Quicksilver.
and died.
And died.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great. Thanks.
That was Avengers 2. You missed that one.
I saw that one.
There you go. So you're up to there.
All right, so we're seeing The Lion King, we're seeing Aladdin, we're seeing Godzilla,
Yeah.
we're seeing Avengers.
Yes.
You know what else?
Godzilla,
what else are we seeing?
Godzilla, I'm going to take... Hold on. Just when I go see Godzilla, I think it's appropriate if I take some Yeti into that.
Aha.
It's all
Nice.
monsters all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
You can take a couple forms of the Yeti in there.
That's right. It's all monsters. King of the monsters.
So, I will be enjoying myself in the theater watching Shaft.
Okay.
There's a new Shaft movie
There's a
coming
new
out.
Shaft coming out.
I
It
didn't
actually
even
looks
know that.
not bad at all.
It doesn't look bad, and it actually, because it's a continuation of the Shaft
2000,
from 2000
yeah.
with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Sam Jackson is there as
He's in it.
Shaft,
Right.
But now there's a mini Shaft.
Oh, a mini Shaft.
Yeah.
There's a
it's
Shaft
Shaft's son.
Junior. Yeah,
It's Samuel L. Jackson's son is now new Shaft.
right.
Well, he's in Shaft in training, I guess.
A Shaft
Yeah.
in training.
Because he's going from like a nerd. From what I got from it, he's like a soft boy.
Exactly. Yeah,
He's a soft millennial, and Shaft is trying to train him to be not a
Toughen
soft.
him up a little bit. Yeah.
Toughen him up.
Interesting. Hopefully this is a hard R.
I think it is. I think it is rated R.
Because if that's a PG-13, I feel
It's
like it's
not-
going to be underwhelming and not even worth watching.
So the other thing that it has going for it is Richard Roundtree is in it as well.
Original Shaft.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
The original.
all the
Shaft.
shafts.
It's got all the
Exactly.
Shaft.
There are shafts everywhere in this film.
We're at maximum Shaft, people. So
How could you not
Free
want to
Shaft.
watch that?
There's two big shafts, and then there's little shafts.
Oh, man. We could take this conversation in so many ways. Maybe we should just turn it back over to Adam.
it's not going to help things.
So many different directions.
So yeah, I watched the trailer as well, and I'm genuinely interested.
I thought it looked pretty funny.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty funny, and it could be. I don't know. The action is up in the air for me,
Right, but
because Sam Jackson and Richard Roundtree are old, but I don't know what the new kid can do. So
who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? But I'm wondering if they're gonna try to take a different tact on it and kind of do a
21 Jump Street.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Where it's a little self-referential.
Right.
You know, it looks inward a little bit. I hope if they do that, they don't go too far with it.
Right.
They just kind of give you a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and that's it.
Right. Well, I think that's what like the soft millennial character will be for. He'll be like there to point out that Sam Jackson can't call women bitch and slap them across the face and things like that.
Oh no, that's already in the trailer.
I'm sure it is.
They've
Well,
already
yeah.
covered that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I can guess.
Yeah.
Look how easy I can guess these things.
Yeah, yeah, you've already hit the nail on the head with that one, and that part of the trailer was legitimately kind of funny because it was
Yeah.
legitimately funny.
Yeah, I'm sure it's funny. It's just, I can point. I know, I know how to write a movie.
If you would like a movie script written, please hit us up at hopnationusa at gmail.com, care of Steve.
Steve
Yeah.
will write you your movie script.
I'll write you a movie.
He wants 20% on top and 5% of gross.
I need upfront as well. I don't work for free. So I saw a movie that you might actually be interested in, Adam. I didn't see the trailer. I just saw it just like popped up
Okay.
on the little radar there. It's called Ford vs. Ferrari.
Yes, I definitely want to see that. And
Okay.
that highlights the battle at Le Mans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 1966 Le Mans 24-hour race.
Yes.
I just figured I didn't know if you knew about it. I figured
yes.
I'd alert you to it.
Yes. So, Sam, you are obviously not particularly interested in this, judging by you playing with your eyebrows right now.
Well, never saw the trailer, never heard of the film.
It's got
Will
Christian
not
Bale
watch
and Matt
it.
Damon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So-
So it's a legitimate movie.
Right, yeah. But that sounds pretty Fast and the Furious. That 24-hour race.
Oh, it does. But it's probably not going to be anything
Right.
compared to what we're going to talk about next.
But is it as Fast and Furious as what Sam's been dying to talk about the entire time?
Oh, yes. Yes, exactly. The new Fast and the Furious movie. And I mean, look, this one doesn't have all the characters in it. This is just Hobbs and Shaw, but at the same time, you guys have seen the trailer, correct?
I've seen the trailer.
Have you seen the trailer for this movie? Or
I've only seen some screenshots.
oh my god! Dude,
but the
there's two
screenshot that I
trailers.
saw was ridiculous enough for me to want to go see it.
It's absolutely absurd. They're continually trying to outdo themselves with these movies, and I don't want to spoil too much about it. I don't even know if I know what the plot is. I don't
Space
even know
Nazis.
if I care. It's these two guys and that one guy that was in 12 Years a Slave is in it, I think.
Idris
and
Elba.
Idris Elba, and he plays Brixton.
He's been in
and
a lot of other things than that, but
He was on The Office.
he was in Thor. He was in Luther.
But he was also in 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I just watched Luther.
Anywho, he's Brixton, and he's a bad guy, and Hobbs and Shaw are trying to stop him from doing something.
Hobbs and Shaw being The Rock and Jason Statham.
The Rock and Jason Statham.
You have to explain these things because I don't think most people who watch these movies remember character names.
Right.
You have to say The Rock and Jason Statham are fighting Idris Elba with superpowers.
Right.
Yes, and Jason Statham's sister is in the film, and she stole some type of virus or something that Brixton's after. So Idris Elba is trying to get this virus or whatever thing back that could wipe out, part of humanity. And then The Rock and Statham have to protect the sister, and there's a whole bunch of bad guys, and they're constantly bickering at one another, and it just looks like an absolute comedic shit show of a film. And the stunts are going to be crazy. I'm sure the budget was huge, and
Oh, yeah.
everybody's going to watch it, and it's probably going to make about $1 billion, just like the rest of those friggin' films do.
Yeah. The one thing I'll give to this film, it looks like fucking Tango and Cash. And I hate to use the phrase on steroids, but it's like Tango and Cash on superpowers is
So,
what it is.
Cranked up to 11.
Yeah, Crank. There you go.
There you go.
It's Crank with The Rock this
Yeah.
time. Also in it. So.
It's the Rock and
2, High
Crank.
Voltage.
It's The Rock and Crank versus Idris Elba. But what I like about it is because it's a smaller cast than what you usually see in the Fast and Furious movies, is there's a lot more interaction between The Rock and Jason Statham, and you get that Tango and Cash like quippiness, and like they're constantly trying to outdo each other, and they're also busting each other's balls.
Right.
There's some legitimately funny stuff that I've seen in the trailer. I'm just worried that I saw it all.
I'm pretty sure that the action sequences will make up for any of those shortfalls.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they
Yeah.
will. I just love that scene in the latest trailer where The Rock is ripping a helicopter down with his arm.
ridiculous.
He's got his chain. It's tied to the helicopter. He's got it wrapped around one arm. He's holding on to the back of a Jeep and just rips this friggin' thing down.
I have to watch this trailer now.
It's just completely and utterly ridiculous. They're driving cars out of windows of buildings and doing flips through midair.
That's standard fare for a Fast and
Right.
Furious
It is,
movie.
but it's just, I don't know. It's every time you see it, it's a little different, but
Right.
it's still awesome.
Do you have a beer suggested pairing for this, Sam?
Oh man, I'm going to go with the Weyerbacher Imperial Pumpkin because I support them and I want
could
them
have
to
said Insanity.
survive.
You could have gone with Insanity. You still
could've
I don't know if I've ever had the Insanity. Yeah, I have. Oh, I've had the Sinsanity. Have you
Yeah.
ever had that? That's the cinnamon,
cinnamon
version
one, yeah.
of the Insanity. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could
just go with that.
Let's go with that.
It's
Weyerbacher's Insanity, Insanity, Sinsanity, whichever one is available and I can find, I'll have that one.
And the Dewclaw 850cc or whatever. That was the coffee porter or whatever. There you go.
Yeah.
That's an engine thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Bear Republic Speed Racer, or Racer number 5 or something?
Yeah, you can race
maybe
number 5.
Maybe I'll go with that, a Racer number 5.
I think Breckenridge had a 72 Imperial.
And then an AleSmith Speedway Stout. Drink them all, and then come out just blackout drunk. Watch the movie twice.
Yeah, exactly. You'll miss half of it because you're wasted or in the bathroom.
That too.
All right.
Either
That's-
going number 1, number 2, or number 3.
You definitely will vom. if you drink all of that in the span of one movie.
Vom vom.
Yeah, vom vom. There
Rev
you go.
rev your engines, boys. It's time to vom vom.
I hope everybody enjoys their summer movie turnouts. I'm excited for Godzilla and Spider-Man's.
And if you've seen all those movies, go see the new Child's Play.
Ew.
There's a new Child's Play coming out? Why?
Yeah.
Because everything that was old is new again.
It's Child's Play for the 20th century, so the Buddy or Chucky doll or whatever can
This
remote
must
into
be-
everything Bluetooth, and he can control the world, all the electronics.
This must be-
He owns them.
What it's like to be part of Generation X.
I don't know what they do. Generation X doesn't pop up anymore. Nobody talks about them.
No.
I just think they all
The
said
Lost Generation.
Yeah, and probably maybe Doug Durder will clue us in on this one, but I'm pretty sure they just sit around listening to Nirvana and Ugly Kid Joe records. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's
all
the
right.
thing.
No, you got me with Ugly Kid Joe. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Unless they see Alice in Chains in a trailer for a movie, they don't give a shit.
You can just have a movie called just Man in a Box.
Right.
It's just that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to show them anything.
Yeah, just down in the well. Oh, I'll go watch that.
Yeah.
Actually, that movie does exist. It's called Buried with Ryan Reynolds.
Not
And
a
the
bad
whole
movie.
movie is filmed with him in a casket.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not a bad movie.
Yeah, it actually isn't. You should watch it.
Okay.
No Alice in Chains music in it, I don't think.
I'm all right.
I don't think so either.
But maybe I forgot one of the songs.
Maybe it's the ringtone on his phone.
Yeah, maybe.
But,
All right. Anyhow.
Yes.
So that was a good movie preview. There's a
Yes.
lot. There's a lot to look forward to this summer. I think we'll actually
Sure
see some
are.
movies that we enjoy.
Yeah. I'm going to see Avengers and Godzilla, and that's about it. If you don't see me in public otherwise, then you don't see me.
Did you know that the Ford GT40 actually used taillights from the Chevrolet Corvair?
We're done. We're moving on.
No.
We knew that. We knew that.
We knew that.
Look, you can come back and have a car episode after you watch your movie. Yes. And we'll do Speedway Stout and 850cc or whatever. We'll have to do a different version of the Speedway Stout.
That's fine. We could do. There's
yeah.
8,000 versions.
Yeah, we'll find one. All right, we'll do Racer 5. All right. But for now, we have to come back to the platform beer.
I liked it. I really liked
the
it.
Pranttl's Torte.
So I'm in agreement with Steve.
Yeah.
After finishing, probably 2 tasters of this, I love the beer, but I don't know if I could have more than 2. I could definitely have more than one 16-ounce can, but I don't think I could go more than 32 ounces in one sitting.
I'm going to stick with the 16-ounce limit. I think one can in a session is just about perfect.
Yeah, I think one is a supplementary dessert, or even if you're fat like me, and just pair it with a Torte as well.
Oh, double tort.
Double Torte. Double Torte that life.
Hey, I was going to say, maybe they will come out with a double Torte beer. I mean, they're making doubles of everything now, so why not a double Torte beer?
Yeah, make it 12%.
Put more burnt almonds in there?
Okay.
What the hell?
Yeah.
F the police.
Release it with Fast and Furious 9. Call it Tortretto.
Oh,
Hey-o.
man. You shouldn't even give them those free ideas.
I'm just giving,
They're so
giving
good.
it away.
Is it made with family?
Made with family. Pranttl's is a family bakery. Like I've already said, it's a one. It's a one and done for me, but it's really good because it hits all the notes that it's supposed to. So let's move on to the podium.
Yes.
Anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. What the hell?
Okay.
So for me, in the bronze medal position, I'm actually going to put that Toppling Goliath. Not saying it was a bad beer for what it is. It's just not something I particularly like. I see why people like it. It's just not for me. So it just kind of goes into bronze medal position. To me, it just kind of goes into... It's just it's another beer in a series. It didn't jump out at me. In the silver medal position, I am going to go with the Barroom Hero, the Magic Hat Dropkick Murphy's collaboration. I liked it. It wasn't honestly anything special, but I liked it just a little bit more than what Toppling Goliath had to offer. And if I had a choice between the two, I think I'd probably go with the Barroom Hero. But in the gold medal position, the platform Prantls, yeah, far and away, gold medal winner, bar none. I don't think I have to explain it any further than what we already did earlier in the segment. Gold medal winner, running away with it.
All right. Well, I'll go next, and I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
Disagree, sir. Bronze, I'm going to give to the Barroom Hero. Like you said, it is unremarkable. I really don't care one way or another about it. It's one of those, if you hand it to me, sure, I'll drink it. I'm not going to turn my nose up at it like an asshole. It's fine. It hits everything it's supposed to be. It tastes like an English mild, as it says. If I'm at a Murphy show and it's cheaper than everything else, sure, I'll buy that. Otherwise, I couldn't give two dog farts about it. Silver, I'm going to give to the platform Torte. It's really good. It hits all the notes that it wants to, but it's a one-and-done dessert beer drinker. And it's really own utility. I'm not going to be drinking it out in a parking lot like we've already said. I'm not tailgating with this. I'm not doing much of anything other than just, drinking it while I'm either editing the podcast or for dessert or something like that. It's nothing that I'm going to get into a heavy session with. I might end a session with it, but still it's just one. And that means gold is going to the Pseudo by Toppling Goliath, because I can crush a shitload of those. That is such a really well-made and soft beer. Like, it's so easy drinking, and it doesn't have a real resinous back end to it. It's also not very dry on the back end, but the flavor does terminate in such a way that you want to go back for more. And it's citrusy, it's flavorful, and it's just good. It's well-made. So I want more, and I want a lot more. Toppling Goliath, change your distro. Florida people suck.
Road trip to Massachusetts, road trip to Florida. Yay, yay, yay.
Massachusetts is 10 hours away. Florida's 18.
Florida's warmer.
I just want to have to go to Vintage Estates. I don't care if you don't come to Pittsburgh. Just go to Ohio.
But if you go to Massachusetts, you could also hit up Trillium and Treehouse.
I haven't been impressed with any of those beers yet. I couldn't.
You haven't even had any Trillium beers.
I don't care. I'm not impressed with it. That don't impress me much.
You had one friggin' Treehouse beer.
I know. I didn't love it. And it felt, and of the 4 breweries so far that you've been on the show for, that of Fat Orange Cat, Lord Hobo, Treehouse, and now Toppling Goliath, who all make top tier, quote unquote top tier, IPAs, the Treehouse has been the worst of those 4.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I did not like it at all.
Fair enough. Alrighty, so now it is time for my rating, and this is going to be very similar to Steve's because he is right and Adam is wrong, and I always like to go with the person that's right. So I'm going to go with the Barroom Hero in last place. It's definitely a forgettable beer, that's for sure, even though the Dropkick Murphys are not a forgettable band. Probably one of my favorite bands. They're put on a great show, and I enjoy that. So if it is at a show, like Steve said, if it's the cheapest thing there, I'll drink it. If not, I'll probably drink the cheapest thing there. So we'll go with that in third. Second is going to be the platform Torte, and this was a tough one for me because I really did enjoy this beer, but for the same reason Steve said, it hits all the right notes, but you can't really crush this beer. It's a dessert beer. It is what it is. It's fantastic. I would recommend that everybody try it. I would certainly drink it again. I think it's very good, but it's gonna have to take a silver medal on tonight's podium, and that means that the gold is going to the Pseudo, and that's probably surprises no one here. Love the Pseudo. It is probably one of my favorite beers. It's very crushable. It's very good. It's hopped so well. It's got a great nose, a great body, a great aftertaste, and like Steve said, it's soft and it's hoppy yet refreshing at the same time. It's so well made, and the buzz that it generates around the country in the craft beer community is, in my opinion, well deserved. And every time I think back about the Pseudo, it just seems so odd that it was made in collaboration with a friggin' museum, and the beer turned out to be that great.
And it's out of Iowa.
And out of Iowa, yeah. And it's pretty much the flagship beer of Toppling Goliath. When you ask people that know the brewery name one beer from Toppling Goliath, they're going to say the Pseudo. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they have other great beers as well. I've had a couple of them, but it's so good. So it's definitely taking gold for me tonight.
Yeah, that's a funny thing is like Pseudo coming out of Iowa is like, I equate that to stouts coming out of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like
you just don't expect
Prairie.
it.
Right, with Prairie, yeah. Because nothing against Oklahoma, but there's not a big craft brewing scene out of there as far as I can tell. And doing stouts so well in Oklahoma's hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not the market you would think it would come from.
It touches Texas, so it's got to get hot down there. Why you make so many stouts? It's hot.
It's hot in Oklahoma.
Yeah. But yeah, so those are our rankings. Like Sam said, Sam and I are right, and Adam is
Also right.
Right for Adam.
That's why I said it.
Yeah, Adam's right for Adam. But yeah, I mean, go try them all.
Yeah.
They weren't bad, even though we're saying the Barroom here is unremarkable. If you like Yingling, go try it,
Honestly, I'd rather have an unremarkable beer than a bad beer.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've had bad beers on this show. So
we've definitely had bad beers, and we've had bad beers from Magic Hats.
Right. It's definitely not a low watermark.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. If you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher, including Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review because
we are a 6-star show, but they only let us use 5.
And that's about as many stars as Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw is going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 5-star show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 5-star movie.
How
you know
could it
why?
not be?
Why?
It's got The Rock.
Yeah.
It's got Jason Statham.
Yeah.
It's got Idris Elba.
Yeah.
And it's got Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about the woman. You don't have to look at the woman. It's all about cars and muscly dudes.
Which certainly leads to a 5-star film.
That's a 5-star film. And then you go see that other movie with all the shafts. Make it a day of muscly dudes and shafts.
You let me know how that goes.
Oh, that's not me. I'm going to go see the Avengers like a nerd. And then I'm going to go watch Big Monsters with the Godzilla.
And the atomic breath.
Mm-hmm. Sam, do you have anything to add to episode 104?
Well, episode 104 has been great.
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed coming back to the show. Hopefully I'll do it again soon to drink some more beers with you guys.
Thank you for bringing Pseudo to us.
Yes.
You are
All the way from
welcome.
Florida.
All the way from Florida. Yeah, so I'll bring more beers next time. We'll
Okay.
drink. We'll enjoy. It'll be awesome.
Right on.
All right.
Stay tuned for that episode and more. But not next week. Next week we're doing something different. Won't be Sam. It'll be other people. But it'll be people. So there you go.
And it'll still be good, so
it'll be
definitely,
good.
definitely check it out.
It might be robots.
No, it won't be robots.
We might just
Might be
automate the
monsters.
show.
No, it's on the schedule. It's people next week. Robots, episode 106. Robots 106. I'm crafting a soundboard so we can. I can just plug in what we're saying.
I like it.
All right, that's it. Bye.